Broadcasting live from the Black Hills of South Dakota. This is your news leader, the Rapid City Journal. Good afternoon and welcome to City Beat, brought to you by the Rapid City Journal and the City of Rapid City. I'm Nathan Thompson with the Journal, and today we've got two amazing young students from Stevens High School. I'm sorry, oh, I just made the mistake, didn't I? Look at that. Okay, sorry, Central. Are you going to kill me now?
No.
Okay, good. Two student representatives from the Rapid City Youth Council who both happen to be Central students. So we have Peyton Swallow and Kiran Kelly with us today. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Well, we're very happy to have you here today, and we're going to be talking about the Rapid City Youth City Council, and this is a program that's been going about a year, a little bit more than a year, and we're just going to learn a little bit more about that program. So if you have any questions about Youth City Council, you may ask those questions in the comments during this live broadcast, and if we have some time, then I'll make sure to ask both Peyton and Kiran those questions for today. So again, ladies, thank you for taking some summer time to come and talk to us about Youth City Council. So Kiran, you're a senior,
Yes.
or going to be a senior this year. How long have you been involved with Youth Council?
So I was an inaugural member of the Youth City Council when it started. It was actually my sophomore year, I believe. I don't know, time gets all funky after COVID happened.
Yeah.
But I joined that first year, and it was really fun.
Mm-hmm. And what type of, have you taken any leadership role with the Youth Council?
So I am currently, this year, I'm actually the vice chair on the Youth City Council. And the first year, I was the co-chair of the environmental committee.
Mm-hmm. Well, very good. And Peyton, you are a junior.
Yep.
I'm not going to say Stevens. You are a junior at Central, and how long have you been involved with the Youth City Council?
I've been involved with the Youth City Council since, well, it started.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so since the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And what made you decide that Youth City Council would be something that you'd be interested in?
Well, it's kind of like I needed like a little extracurricular activity, and it just gave me a great opportunity to take on a leadership role, and I really felt that it was nice that my voice was getting heard.
Mm-hmm. And that's a really nice lesson to learn, and to also have the ability to feel as though you were being heard. So Kiran, same question to you. What made you make the decision that you wanted to join Youth City Council?
So I actually, when I lived in Florida, I took a civics class because that was required at the school I went to, and I got really into government, both local, state, and national level. And so when I found out, when I was reading the school announcements, that we were going to have a Youth City Council, I was super excited and immediately wanted to apply.
Very good. And so with the Youth City Council itself, what are some of the lessons or duties, and either one of you can answer this, what is the point of the actual program itself?
I think, in my opinion, it's to, like, as a student, to have your voice heard, and as a young person, because we are the future, to be able to kind of have some control a little bit and have, like, our concerns and our needs, like, put out there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And you know, that's again a very important thing, getting involved in the community, and what are some specific things that you have felt that your voice has been heard on? Has there been any direct action that you know of that has come as a result of Youth City Council?
So we do make, is it mandates is the proper word? It's not mandates, that we send to the City Council.
Resolutions?
Memorandums.
Memorandums.
There we
Okay,
go.
there you go.
Yes. So we give memorandums and everything. So we'll have debates and everything at our meetings. I think my personal favorite debate that we had was December of our first year. We were all wearing like Christmas hats and reindeer antlers, and we were talking about the mask mandate. And that was just, first of all, really funny because we're all talking about a mask mandate and a pretty serious, important issue to most of us while wearing Santa hats. But we do make memorandums, and we send those to the Common Council.
What are some of the things that you've learned about the civic process and working in municipal government? What are some of the things that you've learned?
So I have definitely learned the setup of the meetings is not what I would have expected. I had never been to a Common Council meeting before U City Council, and we do run our meetings the same way they do. So you have to press a button when you want to speak, and it'll request for you to speak. And then Sadie Colbeck, who is our chair, will press a button and be like, okay, you have the floor. And it's a lot more interesting and more complex than I thought it was going to be.
It's still like a very big learning process, but we make it fun and we all learn together.
So some of the things that you learn is, I would imagine, would be how to actually hold a public meeting, how it is that you learn how to conduct business in an orderly fashion rather than just everybody yelling at each other, right? So learning a little bit about, do you follow Robert's rules? Is that the format that you do? Okay, so for those that don't know what Robert's Rules of Order is, kind of maybe just give a little brief explanation. You don't have to go in on all the motions and tables and all of that, but what is the point of Robert's Rule for you at Youth City Council?
So Robert's Rules is to kind of make it to where we do have that order and that flow and everything. So if we have someone who is giving a presentation to us or a public comment, Robert's Rules is kind of how we decide what we're going to do with that. So if we're going to just talk about it at the next meeting and put it on the agenda for the next meeting, or if we're just going to listen to that presentation, that's kind of what Robert's Rules are for.
And besides, the actual going to the meetings and making motions and writing memorandums to council, you also learn some of the behind the scenes stuff as well, right? Like how city government operates and getting involved in the community. So I think one of the responsibilities of Youth City Council is to go in and connect with the community. So are you open to participating in community events? I mean, have you participated in community events, and what have you learned from that?
We have participated in community events. I think it is a great way to connect with the community and other businesses and just locals. Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity to really get into the community and find out kind of what the community needs and what they're looking for, and what seeing kind of their perspective and hearing their voices and then taking that into consideration.
So that's another important thing about a representative form of government like a council, is that you listen to people and you do your best to communicate those needs and those wants and back to your council members and then on to the actual Common Council. So what are some of the community events or things that you have learned throughout this process by talking to members of the community?
So we have done a lot of different community events. We've done park cleanups. That first year we had a park cleanup, and that was something the environmental committee did. We did pick the hottest day of the year on accident. Definitely don't advise doing a park cleanup on the hottest day of the year. We've done memorial walks, and we've done a summer tour, which is where we went around to the different branches around here that are under city government, and we got to learn a bit more about those.
Going and making a choice to be in public office is a difficult choice. It's not for the faint of heart, because you'll hear from everybody, and sometimes even whenever you go to a Common Council meeting, you'll see that there is some strife sometimes amongst the members of City Council and those who take the podium to address the council itself. Sometimes it gets pretty debated and pretty heated sometimes. Has that happened to you all during youth city council?
So we've never really gotten heated at our meetings. Like I said, we have had debates and everything, but they've always been really respectful, and you'll press the button to ask to speak, and it's always flowed really smoothly. We've never really had any problems with anyone who has come to speak at our meetings, but we do have presentations and public comments at our meetings as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a good way to learn how the process is. And so you have your, with Rapid City area schools and the St. Thomas More and all those, you have an advisor, Kristen Kiner, as well. So you have that. And then on the council, don't you have a liaison specifically on city council? Is it still President Lehman?
Yeah.
Okay. So what have you learned from your interactions with the elected city council members? What are some of the things that they've taught you?
So they are super helpful. President Lehman attends all of our meetings, and Councilor Armstrong attends them when she's able to as well. And we all really appreciate that. They help us learn what we're supposed to do at our meetings, because even now we'll hit bumps and everything. Mm-hmm. And so President Lehman will help us figure out what we're supposed to be doing. Mm-hmm.
Good, good. So whenever you are talking to your friends, I mean, being part of a youth city council is not a normal extracurricular activity, right? So whenever you're talking to your friends at school, at Central High School, there we go, I got it right this time. Whenever you're talking to your friends, what is their reaction saying that you're on youth city council? How do your friends deal with it?
A lot of questions.
Yeah.
Definitely. And then kind of initially it's like a little bit of shock. But yeah, there's a lot of questions that kind of like people like to ask, and I do answer them because I think it's also important for my friends and my peers to, know what's going on inside of the community as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, after the experiences that you've had, I mean, you have an upcoming term that's going to be beginning very soon. So after the experiences that you've had on Youth City Council, do either one of you plan on moving on to elected public office, or is the current political climate kind of a turnoff for you? What do you think?
So I think it would be really wonderful to run for public office. I do hope to one day run for governor, although I do have interest in doing the actual Common Council as well. Yeah.
All right, so here we have a future gubernatorial candidate right here on City Beat. So that's great. You have a few years to wait, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just a few years. So still got to get to college and all of that. So what about you, Peyton? Do you feel as though elected office would be something that you would want to do in the future?
Yes, I actually do. I find it very interesting and fascinating, and I love to learn how things work, and especially I'm still learning how, city government works, and I think it's really cool.
Yeah. Well, again, going in and by the way, I just had the wrong name up on the screen. It said you were Kiran. Sorry about that. So there we go. There's a couple of mistakes right for me. I tell you, it's one of those days. But anyway, sorry about that. Didn't mean to misidentify you on the screen. So with this program being available, and we have an upcoming term, right? So talk about when the term begins and how it is that other students your age, who's qualified, all right, how do they submit information if they are interested in serving on Youth City Council, and when do they need to get it done by?
Yeah, so our council is open to students ages 14 to 18, and as long as you meet those ages and you are in the Rapid City area, you're more than welcome to apply no matter what school you go to. We have the application is on rcycc.com, and it'll immediately take you to the application, which is super easy to fill out. And as long as you fill that out before October 31st, we'll be able to look at your application and consider you for the upcoming term.
Well, very good. And ladies, thank you both for serving your community and learning what it's like to be part of public service. And that's an important lesson. We hear a lot of things out in the world that may not be always that positive, but I know just by talking to you both today and seeing what Youth City Council has been doing, you guys are making a great difference for the community. Thank you for doing that.
Absolutely. I really enjoy it.
Well, we enjoy having you here, and thank you for taking some time out of your summer schedule to come in and talk here with us here at the Journal.
Yep. So, yeah, thank you.
And thank you for joining us for this episode of City Beat, brought to you by the Rapid City Journal and the City of Rapid City. Now, everybody knows that we have the Sturgis Rally that is beginning tomorrow. Actually, I guess it's on. Yeah, it is tomorrow. So please be careful out there. Several hundreds of thousands of people are here in the Black Hills. Be mindful, be safe, don't drink and drive, and we will be providing Facebook Live updates every day of the rally as well while it's going on. Tomorrow, tune in at noon right here on our Facebook channel, where we will be presenting the opening ceremonies and the parade for the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally, brought to you by Geico Motorcycle Insurance. We look forward to seeing you throughout this week. For those who are visiting the Black Hills, welcome. We hope you have a great time, and thank you all for joining us today on this episode of City Beat. For the Rapid City Journal, I'm Nathan Thompson. I'll see you tomorrow.